All Queensland underground coal mines are required to test their emergency preparedness by running annual simulated emergency exercises. The 2015 Level 1 mine emergency exercise was held at North Goonyella coal mine after it was selected to be the focal point of the state's emergency preparedness. North Goonyella is an underground longwall coal mine located approximately 160 kilometres east of Mackay in the Bowen Basin. The emergency scenario for the exercise occurred at the beginning of a shift and involved an outburst, which is an ejection of gas and coal from the solid face of the mine. The gas and coal debris released from the outburst injured personnel and trapped others and disrupted the auxiliary fan ventilation. Gas travelled into the roadway and was ignited by a mechanical loader. The explosion also damaged the mine ventilation system. The short circuit of air and gases travelled to the longwall, where the first crew of coal mine workers donned self-contained self-rescuers, or SCSRs. For safety reasons, workers assisted their colleagues once their own oxygen supply had been secured. The first crew initiated non-verbal communication with the control room to report their location. 1 tap for yes and 2 taps for no. The control room operator used a range of questions to determine their location. The second crew of workers were located in the last open cut-through. They donned their SCSRs, but due to limited equipment for the exercise, not all crew members had SCSRs. Crew members also used reflective canes, which were provided in the SCSR caches. The second crew initiated non-verbal communication from the conveyor road using an alternative protocol, 3 taps for yes and 2 taps for no. As a result, one of the recommendations is that industry adopts a standard non-verbal communication protocol. The deputy of the second crew used a notebook to communicate planned actions to his crew members. Evacuating coal mine workers from both crews were required to change over from short-duration SCSRs to long-duration SCSRs at the cache. One worker had difficulty changing over to the new equipment, detaching the bag housing from the SCSR and making the equipment unusable. The workers were provided with low visibility glasses to simulate a low-light, dust-filled and smoke-filled environment. The workers then evacuated to the Emergency Escape SCSR station under simulated smoke conditions. The deputy of the first crew attempted non-verbal communication with the control room, using 1 tap for yes and 2 taps for no. He also used a notebook to communicate with his team. Reflective canes were used by the workers to keep together as they continued the evacuation. The final stage of evacuation involved the use of a drift runner, a flame-proof diesel-powered vehicle that can carry up to 12 people. While the evacuation appeared complete, one crew member was identified as missing. Stone dust barrier bags, also known as bat bags, can be seen above the drift runner. Bat bags are explosion barriers containing stone dust designed to stop a coal dust or gas explosion. Assessors show the evacuating crews a picture of the damaged overcast. Wind chimes can be heard in the background as the crews arrive at a SCSR safety station. The use of wind chimes to identify SCSR stations during an emergency was a recommendation from previous Level 1 exercises. The crew members arranged to undertake work on the damaged overcast. Following mines rescue protocols, they also organise a backup team to stay behind.
If you used your self-rescuer, you're going outside, okay? But I need the numbers that are going out, and I need the numbers of the guys.
Evacuated workers who wore SCSRs at the beginning of the exercise were sent to the surface. Those workers could have potentially been exposed to high levels of carbon monoxide and could have been suffering the side effects. Other workers who were still protected by their SCSRs were asked to stay to help fix the overcast damage. The missing worker was brought out on a stretcher and placed onto the drift runner for evacuation to the surface. This marked the end of the emergency exercise.